Do this once. Toxic people will never disrespect you again. You don't need to argue louder. You don't need to threaten. You don't need to prove your worth. Toxic people don't respect noise. They don't respect emotion. They don't respect explanations. They respect one thing: strength. Not physical strength. Not aggression. Not ego, inner control. The reason toxic people keep disrespecting you is simple. They sense reaction. They sense insecurity. They sense the need to be approved. And once someone senses that, they test you. Again, and again, and again. But there is something you can do once. One shift in behavior that makes toxic people uncomfortable. It removes their leverage. It cuts off the power supply. And when you do it correctly, they either change how they treat you, or they remove themselves from your life. This is not about revenge. This is not about dominance. This is about psychological discipline. The Stoics mastered this long ago, and by the end of this video, you will understand exactly what to do. If you value strength, discipline, and mental clarity, subscribe to this channel now. This is where we turn ancient philosophy into modern power. Now let's begin. 1. Master emotional detachment. Toxic people feed on emotional reactions. They provoke, they criticize, they mock, they push boundaries, and then they watch. They watch your face, your tone, your body language. They are studying whether they control you. The moment you react emotionally, you confirm their influence. Epictetus taught that if someone angers you, they become your master. Think about that. If a person can change your mood at will, they own a piece of you. Detachment is not weakness, it is strategic calm. When insulted, you remain neutral. When criticized unfairly, you stay steady. When baited into drama, you disengage. No dramatic defense, no emotional explosion, no desperate explanation, just calm. Toxic people become confused when the usual tactics fail, and confusion removes their power. 2. Enforce boundaries calmly and immediately. Respect is not requested, it is enforced through behavior. Many people say they have boundaries. Few actually maintain them. A toxic person will test limits subtly. A joke that goes too far. A small disrespect. A backhanded comment. If you laugh it off while feeling uncomfortable, you teach them something. You teach them access. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily that he would meet difficult people, but he never allowed them to corrupt his character. A sharp boundary sounds calm. That comment isn't acceptable. Don't speak to me that way. Short, direct, controlled. No yelling, no long speeches. The power is in the tone. When you enforce a boundary once, firmly and calmly, toxic people reassess you. Because now there is consequence. And consequences create respect. 3. Stop seeking their approval. Toxic people often try to control through validation. They give it, they withdraw it, they use it like currency. If your confidence depends on their approval, you are vulnerable. Seneca warned against tying your peace to the opinions of unstable people. The moment you stop needing their praise, you become untouchable. You don't dress for their reaction. You don't speak for their validation. You don't act to impress. You act according to your values. Indifference to approval shifts the dynamic completely. They can no longer manipulate you with attention. And when attention no longer works, they lose interest in disrespect. Because control no longer exists. 4. Use strategic silence. Not every attack deserves a response. In fact, most don't. Toxic individuals often expose themselves when given enough space. They talk too much. They exaggerate. They contradict themselves. Your silence forces them to sit in their own behavior. Silence is uncomfortable for people who thrive on reaction. It denies drama. It denies escalation. It denies entertainment. There is power in a calm stare. In a composed pause. In walking away without theatrics. When you refuse to participate in chaos, chaos looks foolish on its own. And eventually, It searches for a new audience. 5. Stay predictable, calm under pressure. The greatest intimidation is consistency. Toxic people expect emotional swings. They expect you to break character. But when you respond the same way every time, calm, measured, controlled, they realize something. You are not reactive. You are stable, and stability is difficult to challenge. Marcus Aurelius faced betrayal, criticism, and pressure daily. Yet his power came from composure. If your mood is not controlled by insults, sarcasm, or passive aggression, people adjust their behavior. Because unpredictability invites testing, predictable calm ends it. 6. Be willingness to walk away. This is where most people fail. They know they're being disrespected. They feel it, they talk about it, but they stay. Toxic people sense hesitation. When you are willing to leave, a conversation, a room, a relationship, everything changes. Walking away is not emotional escape. It is strategic refusal. It says, access to me is a privilege. And privileges can be revoked. You don't threaten to leave. You simply leave. And that silence echoes louder than any argument. 7. Build unapologetic self-respect. This is the core. If deep down you believe you deserve disrespect, you will tolerate it. Toxic dynamics survive on low self-worth. Stoicism teaches that your character is your responsibility. When you value yourself internally, you do not negotiate dignity. You don't over-explain. You don't beg to be understood. You don't shrink to keep peace. Self-respect is felt. It shows in posture, in tone, in decisions. And once toxic people sense genuine self-respect, they adapt. Because predators seek weakness, not strength. Now understand something important. This is not about becoming cold, it is about becoming controlled. The shift you make once is this: you stop reacting emotionally and start responding strategically. That single shift changes everything. Toxic people lose leverage. Disrespect loses reward. Drama loses fuel. And without fuel, it dies. If this message gave you clarity, subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. This is where we build mental armor and sharpen discipline through Stoic philosophy. Comment below what toxic behavior you've tolerated in the past, and what you will no longer accept. Your peace is valuable. Your discipline is power. Your self-respect is non-negotiable. Stay calm. Stay disciplined. And I'll see you in the next video.